It's time for the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are in a city that sure had its share of memorable playoff games in the past. Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Shut it! Move it! Watch it, bring it! Bring it! Check!
First down, Winston. Ebron caught left side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Off the play fake, Winston. Eluding the pressure right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys. Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Yeah. Regular.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fitzpatrick gonna look deep, and that's caught inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards, first down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So not quite a first and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
PPP. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take wins. Five. 59. Mike is 59. Hey, Jim. 59, Mike. 59.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Now he's got it. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? The first points of a ball game. How about during the playoffs? Vitally important, and they've done that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're forced to play catch-up early in this division round game as they search for a seat in the AFC Championship round. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 31 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside, they can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston, and it's complete. He gets this one to Washington.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
From the red zone now, Winston. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that. But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Check green, 17. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
After the sack on first down, Winston, he's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And some room to work. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there out of Cook. 65 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
At the 4-yard line.
Strong. Watch the run. Chopper. Switch gears.
They'll run with Cook. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback taking it in. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Ready? Black 22. Mike 58 right there. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
From the gun, Winston. Got an open man. It's Washington. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Emmanuel Agba. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Silver. Like six. We ain't giving them nothing.
Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. That's going to be caught. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jordan Howard with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half.
Steelers 3.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch the backer. Safe. Green, come team. Let's go.
On 2nd down, this is Cannon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Eli Apple. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Fitzpatrick. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will do it for this first half. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
I'm coming.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick caught the tight end Walford. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here we go. One's the mic. Watch one. I'm coming after you.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. Here's Matt Hawk now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Switzer. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Winston, Washington's got it. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. On third down, here's Cannon. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. To throw, Winston. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 42. But he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Good job.
This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
22 yards there, a first down. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
Brings up second and 3.
Ready? Blue lady. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Let's go.
Now Winston. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Emmanuel Agba able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. To throw is Winston. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Shaq Lawson, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up fourth down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Now Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. They were looking for Johnson that time. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Fitzpatrick. Gonna look deep for Wilson. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Albert Wilson, 57 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
55. Here we go, D. All day, defense.
Throwing, Winston. To the right side to Eric Ebron. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Winston now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Cannon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. Throwing on 2nd down. Winston. Complete to Washington. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. 23 yards, the final tally. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's rush coming, and he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Hey, number 28, Mike. Check in.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row they were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
From the gun on third down, Fitzpatrick. That'll be complete to Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 64 yards. And the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out. And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least. No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 44-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run. Cook. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Here we go. Regular. Watch what? You can't block me. You can't block me.
There you go. Get down. So Mike's number one. Watch the pass.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with exactly 1 minute to go in the football game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Here we go.
Now Fitzpatrick on 4th down. He's airing it out for Williams. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
They'll run. This is Cannon. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
A good run. Got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a give running right is Samuels. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Winston now. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Off the play fake, Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Let's go, D.
Jameis to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
One last shot now for Winston. He's going to let it fly. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And that will write a finish to this ball game. And Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make the effort to get to this game and then point them towards the future. If we're good enough to get here, all we've got to do is work harder, be better, and we can be good enough to go farther next season. How many times have we seen a team lose in the playoffs, and that girds them for a championship run in the future?
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.